Good afternoon, my name is William Hugh Price. It's just gone past 1 o'clock on the 27th of November 2012. Yesterday on the 26th, someone named Lewis Thelwall, sorry if I pronounced his last name wrong, died. He committed suicide, I believe. The reason I'm making this video, the reason why I'm not putting on my Gabrial Storm persona is because it's a serious situation. Normally, when I make videos like this, it's for people's entertainment or enjoyment, but regarding the serious situation, it's something that I sort of can relate to, because Lewis was sort of pushed to the edge because of bullying, and it is a sensitive topic because everyone at one point in their lives has been bullied. It's a very serious situation, and I'm making this video to sort of share my thoughts, my opinions on bullying, which is something that has affected me as well. So in some aspects, I'm sort of dedicating this video to the memory of Lewis. I don't have any sort of script in front of me, so you could probably tell. So I guess I'll begin with saying that I'm not gonna sort of bullshit anyone. I didn't know Lewis personally. I didn't know him as a close friend, but I know that there are those who did know him, and who can tell you what kind of person he was. And my thoughts go out to his friends, and especially his family, around this time of year. My thoughts and prayers are with you in this very tough time. Well, I want to sort of make this video sort of open people's eyes a bit more to the fact that obviously nothing really has changed in the face of bullying. And I don't know why people sort of go out of their way to make other people's lives a bit more miserable. I mean, God forbid, this life is a bit hard for most people, but to have something like bullying on top of it is just, I can't understand people's motives behind bullying. I vaguely remember, I think it was a lecturer or maybe a teacher in comprehensive telling us why people bully. Whether they've been bullied personally themselves and they're taking it out on other people, whether they're doing it to sort of fit in, but to sort of hunt on people's emotions and sort of attack them because of their choices in life, their sexuality, religion, race, or even as simple as just for fun. I can't sort of make any excuses for those people, for those kinds of people. For what I'm going to say next, I want people to sort of, don't sort of misunderstand me, but in a way, the world does need bullies. The reason I'm saying that is because people then can sort of take a look at those people and say, Okay, I'm not going to be anything like that guy. I'm going to be the complete opposite of that person, so that I could show other people compassion, so that I could show other people respect. I said I'd share my thoughts on bullying. I said I'm going to share some of my personal stories, because I have been affected by bullying. I know what it's like. And I did go to that dark place that Lewis went to at one point, where I thought I had enough. The fact is that if I did have the guts, you know, if I were back then, when it was more of a serious issue for me, if I did have the guts, I probably wouldn't be here. But in a way, I'm glad I did, because I didn't go down that route, because I've met some really great people in my life, and I'm pretty, you know, I'm like I said, I don't know Lewis personally, but I'm sure that he's sort of impacted a lot of people's lives, those who knew him, those who were close to him. The main sort of era or time that this happened to me was when I was in comprehensive. You know, a new place, you know, you don't know what to expect, so I do what I usually do. I try to be the center of attention, the class clown, get people to like me. Some did, others, or most people, weren't, didn't see me as sort of like, I don't know how to word it, but they did see me as, you know, a fun person. They saw me as sort of a target. So I kind of opened myself up to bullying, and I didn't react well to it at all. Some incidents I don't remember, some I do. I've had people tell me things that when they said it, I couldn't believe it, but I did it. But I don't remember. I went to anger management in college, and I'm pretty sure that most of those memories have been suppressed or pushed to the back of my mind. But one incident, I believe, well, I don't believe, one incident I heard from a friend was that I got upset one day and smashed my head up against a window, cracking a window at school. No, in a classroom. I don't remember any of that. I remember my head being smashed up against the wall. I remember me being hit over the head with a fire extinguisher. I can't remember if I did get hit over the head with a fire extinguisher or if I got pushed really hard into a fire extinguisher. But I remember my head made contact with a fire extinguisher. And it is sort of like showing people who the alpha male is, you know. That sort of like, I'm saying male dominance, but you know, females get affected by bullying obviously as well. But for me, that was sort of like male dominance, showing who the bigger man was. You can tell by my tone, I mean, I am upset about this, but only because, like I said, it's sad what happened to Lewis, but like I said, I didn't know him, Um, but I am upset about the way that he died, the way that he was sort of driven to, this point that many people I know have been driven to. People make fun of you because, you're gay, or you're overweight, you're short. They sort of pick out all these sort of things that you probably can't even help. Even as far as making fun of someone because they have a disability, mental or physical disability. It is kind of sickening that there are people like that, in the world. So I went to college, got started in college, and in the first year, there's always that. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who, gets affected by this one word. One word sort of sets me off. For me, it was being called fat, because I was quite sensitive about, my weight. I always saw myself as sort of like average at best. Maybe a little bit overweight now, but I'm happy with being the person I am. But an incident where someone called me fat in college, my first year of college, I left the classroom. It was during a class. I left the classroom, went for a small walk to try to sort of calm myself down. It didn't work. Went back. They continued. I remember throwing chairs around the classroom. I remember just sort of pacing up and down, sort of hysterical. That's the incident that sort of the college said to go to anger management. And honestly, the person I saw, all he did was make me sit in a chair, listen to CDs, taking deep breaths, counted back from 10 to 1 slowly and all that. But it really did work, and it did me a hell of a lot of good. The reason I'm telling these stories is because, and saying my thoughts, is because to the people who do get bullied, there are people to talk to, and in some cases it could be the most unlikely person. Don't go down the same route as Lewis did. Okay, find help, because Lewis's death has affected a lot of his friends, it's affected his family. If you're at that point, think about your friends, your family, how your loss will affect them after you're gone. I want those of you who are watching who may be a bully, reconsider your actions before you decide to take them, because you never know what your actions could do to that person. I feel that not enough is being done to prevent bullying. It's still a big issue. There are other worries in life, but take a look at me now. I mean, I'm the person I am today, maybe because I have a lack of confidence. All my sort of flaws, I'm sort of pointing towards the fact that I got bullied. And I don't want another me walking around. Someone who isn't sort of sure of themselves, someone who isn't confident enough in themselves. I don't want another Lewis walking around, someone who's at that point where they've given up. So this video was dedicated not only to Lewis, but to everyone who's been affected by bullying. My name is William Price. Thank you for watching.